welcome to the Creative Crafty. I'm Mandy and I have a really cool project. It's really simple that you can do at home, great for a rainy day, snow day, if you're an art teacher or any teacher for that matter. It's great if students happen to get done with projects early, doesn't require a lot of materials, and it doesn't take too long, which is really nice as well. So what we're going to be doing today is basically the equivalent of watercolor tiles. Some people use them for coasters. You can use them for bits of artwork around the house, anything fun, but more importantly, gets the kids kind of doing something a little bit different and really, really fun. So let's get started. Alright, so for watercolor tiles, basically you don't need a lot of materials, as you can see. I do have some different types of shapes you probably see over here on the right, but basically all you really need is some Sharpie markers, good old rubbing alcohol. I have a spray bottle with some paper towels because I make a big mess, as well as your basic white tile. These are 4x4. You can use any size you want. I happen to have the 4x4. If you want to go larger, by all means, nobody's going to stop you. But most importantly, with the basic, tiles, some very important things you want to take into note. One being that don't go to the home improvement store and just go buy a box of tiles. One, because they can get kind of expensive, but definitely check out any clearance areas, see if they happen to have white or even an off-white, or if you want to do a color, most importantly. But you want to make sure that the tiles have that kind of glossy surface to them. Don't use any of the stone-based tiles. It's not going to hold, and it's not going to allow the markers to bleed and make that kind of watercolor effect like you'd like. It's just going to kind of stick to the stoneware and not do all too much of anything. The only thing I don't have that I highly recommend is some type of fixative spray. Especially like an acrylic based one. You can get those at any arts and crafts store, and you're going to want that for the very end, just to kind of spray over your tile, and it kind of sets it and leaves it so that way it's protected and it doesn't fade away, or if you happen to use it for a coaster, it's not going to ruin the lovely watercolor effect that does. Most importantly, if you are going to use it for a coaster and you're at the arts and crafts store, pick up some felt, and you'll definitely want to get a hot glue gun, and you'll just want to put the felt and the hot glue on the back of the tile. I apologize, that's all clay that you see there. I use these in ceramics a lot of the time, so no worries on that. Sharpie markers, they're just the regular Sharpie markers. I got a 6-pack colored markers. I actually happened to walk into one of the stores during back to school sales, so I got them super duper cheap. I always recommend that. Wait till something goes on sales, use your coupons. And the lovely, very large bottle of rubbing alcohol, because I wasn't sure how much I needed for the project at the summer camp. I actually just got it at Walmart. I think it was a couple bucks. I used the 91%. There are different percents. This was the highest one they had for sale, so I just grabbed this one. And then, of course, the handy dandy spray bottle. You can use various methods. I've seen people use small little cocktail straws to put the alcohol on the tile and make different designs with it, which you most certainly can. I used a spray bottle because it's easier when you have a lot of kids and you got to spray a bunch of tiles at once. And then, of course, the paper towel, because like I said, I make a mess. If you have younger kids that might not be able to color on their tile fully, definitely put newspaper down. Just to protect your tables and your surface areas, or do what I do. I get the vinyl tablecloth, usually at Christmas tree shop, and I put those down, and they're my craft tablecloths that if they get ruined, I'm not gonna lose sleep and cry over. So most certainly. All right, let's get started, and I'll show you how to do this. I'm gonna start with the basic tile, since pretty much most of you are gonna probably be using the tiles for your artwork. Oh, and one other thing, if you happen to know somebody that has their own ceramic shop, maybe their own kiln, you can always ask them, and maybe you can get some fun shapes to make great like Christmas ornament gifts. You do like little Christmas shapes or Hanukkah shapes if you want to do kind of like an ornament gift, that sort of thing. That'd be a great idea for gift giving, and obviously it doesn't cost all that much. I know grandparents always love handmade gifts from the kids at the holiday times, so most certainly. Alright, so to get started, basically you're going to just pick out any color. I happen to grab red, and you can see my tile does have a little crack in it, and that's okay. What you want to start with to get really good effects is basically you're just going to draw these kind of like really quick up and down, you know, lines. You can go vertical, horizontal, however you want, and you just want to do these lines and you know, get them pretty much the tile covered is going to be your best bet, and you'll get the really neat effects with that. Don't color it too much that the whole thing is like completely gone, but you want to cover enough of it so that way they can kind of, you know, mix together, and that's kind of what you want to happen here. And I'm going to add some green. So I'm going to take a break from coloring because I'm going to grab the rubbing alcohol in the spray bottle, and I'll give you let you see kind of what happens. So after you do that, while it's still a little bit wet, help if I actually test run my spray bottle. There we go. I just filled it, so. Alright, and we're going to spray and spritz. And you can kind of see it's already doing a really nice spotted effect. And what I had the kids do is you just kind of blow on it, and it does some really neat blending type of things with it. And you can already see it's already starting to kind of blend a little bit there. So, and really allow it to just kind of blend through. I apologize, my light's in the way. But you get this really beautiful effect, and they kind of mix together and create this fuzzy, foggy, you know, watercolor-based beauty to it. Alright, so what I did is I took the tile and I colored around the areas that I hadn't originally put color. I added a little red, orange, some pink up in the top you can kind of see, and I re-sprayed with the rubbing alcohol around the outer edge. I didn't spray too much in the middle, and I let the outer edges kind of mix. I just picked up the tile and kind of, you know, moved it around a little bit to let those colors mix. And you can kind of see the really neat effect that it did with the rubbing alcohol in the middle. It kind of has this spotted area from that, and then, you know, obviously the outer edges kind of did this really pretty, kind of reminds me of outer space look, you know, with the mixing it did. So now what I'm going to do is show you what I was talking about with the mosaics, because I figure some of you are probably curious as to that. And what you basically do is you pick an area and you start and just kind of do these thick, you know, lines, and that's all I did. And it just did some random shapes, you know. There was no science behind it. If you really wanted to get technical, you could just do squares or circles or, you know, whatever your heart's content. If you really want to get artsy, you don't have to do the whole thing with different shapes. You most certainly could just do a, you know, little piece of it, and it kind of creates this really beautiful piece of artwork, and you can most certainly display it. I can always spray this down and use it as a coaster if I'd like to. So thanks for watching. I hope you had fun, and I hope you give it a try and it works out great for you. If you do have any questions, you can always go on to thecreativecrafty.com. You can most certainly look up this project and leave me a comment under it if you happen to have a question. I'll try and get back to you. And if you need any supplies or have questions about supplies, please leave a comment and I'll try and help you out. As always, I always say to use coupons. Try and get stuff on discounts. You don't really need to spend a lot of money. Understand your Sharpies are probably not going to be the color they were when you first started. Also, if you're an art teacher and you kind of like this craft to do in your classroom, I'll try and upload a PDF version of supplies and how-tos. You can use it to make your lesson plan. Please help yourself. Same with parents. You can most certainly print out the instructions. That way you have it with you while you're doing the project. So again, thanks for watching. It was great having you today. Hope you have fun. Have a great day. Thanks for visiting.